still the Polity on KAFTAN television, and we are reaching you live from the nation's capital right now. I am being joined in the studio by Habib Gajo, who is a public affairs analyst. And a gentle reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give in your contribution or ask a question. It's good to have you join us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Mercy.
Very well. You're welcome. Now, let me start by saying I am aware that you know that the former governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai, has sued the Kaduna State Assembly with the provision of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and an African Charter on human rights as amended on the rights for humans and people rights to fair hearing. What do you make out of this recent development?
Yeah, you see, sometimes in Nigeria we see politicians doing all these kind of things and so on and so forth. How can there has been an allegation of misappropriation?
432 billion naira.
Billion naira.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And questions have been asked. Your commissioners and aides have been questioned by the committee, ad hoc committee. And you refuse to appear, and you run to court and said you want to fundamental human right for not fair hearing. Even if you're clean, if you don't have any skeleton in your cupboard, you will go yourself. You don't even need an invitation as a former governor. You go to the state assembly, go and give them the breakdown and answer all the questions they are asking for. But what we see is to run for fundamental human right. Fundamental human right. So if you have if you want a fundamental human right, what of the fundamental human right of Kaduna citizen and government that you mismanage? You understand? And it's an indictment. Let me tell you. You see, recently in United States of America, the former president,
yes, Donald Trump, was charged to court with several allegations, but he was indicted in some of the charges. Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
And he is free. He's continuing with his own campaign, but at least justice has been served. You understand? And Trump always appear in court. So how can a governor in Nigeria will not appear in court and will run for another court to seek for fundamental human right? What the state assembly did is in the constitution. It's a constitutional provision. And what the state assembly did, nobody will upturn it. You understand?
Yes.
Until you go and attend the public hearing and answer all the questions. But if you cannot answer the question, I don't think you have any fundamental human right, or you have a right to go to court and say, if I'm the judge, I would say go and answer your question. Go and answer the question. Go and defend yourself. But you can't come to court and say, I should defend somebody who is being alleged or who is being indicted for corruption charges, and you said I should. Has the matter gone to court? But the state assembly did what the constitutional provision provided and said all his aides, you understand,
yes,
that attended those, that the security agencies should investigate them. They have questioned them, and they, in some cases, there have been there is a clarity. In some cases, there is no clarity. So let the security agency investigate where are those monies went to, which account, who spent them, who authorized the payment, and so on and so forth. You understand?
Yes.
But we heard from his two aides, you understand, who said they got the government approval. So he should take the his two aides to court and said they did not give him fair hearing, or they lied against him also, and so.
Well, why this is going on? I think from the last time we talked about this the last time you were here, and one other Richard Oriri. But as of yesterday, I discovered that in more findings, the resident of Kaduna State who protested for his prosecution of the former governor, that's Nasir El-Rufai, that revealed that 10.5 billion naira went for pastoral construction of milk industry. And reports also uncover payments of unregistered companies and funds disbursed for works not completed. Now, my question is, does it mean that there was no oversight function, or there was nothing? How come did all this money leave the state accounts without them knowing it, only for them to just come now and bringing up? Or was there no oversight functions, at least to assess or to examine all those things that he said? Like the funds he said that was disbursed, and the project that we are not completed. I think they added that a contract was awarded to some unregistered companies. So my question is, what happens to the people that does oversight functions?
That is why his two aides, I think Mayowa and one Jeffrey, said they got the governor's approval. You understand? So definitely, for saying that maybe they have bypassed some certain procedures. You understand?
Yes.
So any project that is not being completed and the person has been paid, or the company has been paid, you understand, is for the state government to call the company. You either complete it or we revoke it.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Or you pay damages. You understand? But in this case, which company has been contracted to do all those massive and giant projects?
So what was the
report is saying that some of the companies are not even registered. You understand? So how can a company that is not registered, is not paying tax to Kaduna State government, and being awarded
projects,
a massive project like this? You understand? And the question of that he has worked, he has built Kaduna State, he has done roads and so on and so forth. He generated revenue. If the State Assembly, the ad hoc committee investigated and found out that even the revenue that was generated is also looted. So tell me, that is why the governor is crying. There is nothing in the state treasury to pay salary and to have a capital project. You understand? And lack of that is, it will plunge the state into an economic crisis and hardship. You understand? Now, coming back to the loans he acquires, you understand? He took a huge loans running to a million and millions of dollars to billions of dollars. You understand?
Yes.
And the state allocation, the federal allocation of the state, the grant, is going through the banks, and the banks are deducting the interest rates, the debt servicing.
Yes.
Leaving Kaduna State with nothing. That's where the problem is, and that is why they said, oh, we need to investigate this. We can't allow our money going for debt servicing. You understand? While we cannot work, we cannot pay salary. The revenue that was generated also is not traceable. You understand? So where are we starting from? So we have to start investigation first. Then, you understand, we will now look for another alternative. So the governor and the government of Kaduna State need to look inward, you understand, to start from somewhere and how they are going to generate money or revenue to pay. But the confidence of Kaduna citizens has been betrayed. You understand? Has been dashed out. Even if you pay tax, somebody will loot it. This is where the predicament of Kaduna people is. They can't get good governance again. You understand?
So I was listening to the spokesperson of the ad hoc committee. I think it was yesterday or something. So when he was asked why the former, I mean the assembly not speak up, why they noticed that some of the funds that was approved we are not properly managed. So and he answered that most of the people, a lot of them during the period, we are afraid of El-Rufai. So if you should make any statement, the next day bulldozer comes to your house and pull off your house. So now I am just asking a question, and is this like, I thought we are in a democratic government where nobody is above the law.
Yes, you know, it has happened several times. You understand? El-Rufai is the former governor of Kaduna State. El-Rufai that is nature and character. You understand? He think if he has power, he's above the law.
But nobody is above the law.
Nobody is above the law. Let me tell you, when he was a FCT minister, he demolished a Justice Sambo's house. You understand? For no reason. And up till today, there is no justification of that. You understand? He demolished so many people's houses. Now, in Kaduna State, when he became governor, the slogan in Hausa is Semi Rusau. Semi Rusau means the man who demolish. You understand?
Okay.
So his work is demolition, not constructing. You understand?
So he does all this thing without being questioned.
You know, when power and corruption, you know, merge together, they say power corrupt absolutely. You understand? So is definitely you have a dictatorial tendencies. You understand? And that tendencies will not leave El-Rufai in power. Today, even if he became a president of Nigeria, that dictatorial tendencies will not leave him. But what is there is for him to go and clear himself, not to look for fundamental human rights. The current president of Nigeria, then a governor, former Lagos State governor, was also accused. You understand? For having several accounts and so on and so forth. He was taken to Code of Conduct Bureau. He appeared in the tribunal. He cleared himself. You understand? The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was accused. You understand? He has not sought for fundamental human rights. He went. There is one panel in the National Assembly led by Senator Idoma Egba. You understand? About PTDF investment.
Okay, apologies. Let's quickly go on a short break.
Before we go to break, Atiku went to the National Assembly, the Senate, and cleared himself. You understand? Anytime you accuse somebody, will go and clear himself. Not for fundamental human rights. Corruption charges has gone beyond fundamental human rights. It's not a deformation of character.
All right, viewers, we'll go on a short break. We'll return shortly.
According to report, only 40% of high-risk drug users in Nigeria currently receive needed care, highlighting the massive unmet need. To close this gap, the federal government said it is intensifying efforts to address funding gaps as well as partnering with law enforcement agencies at reducing substance abuse while ensuring a balanced public health approach. Consultations are ongoing. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, represented by its Permanent Secretary, Daju Kacholom, at the commemoration of this year's World Drug Abuse Day in Abuja, revealed plans to engage communities, traditional and religious leaders to intensify more efforts on mental health and substance use prevention.
Thus, the Ministry of Health, as part of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has commenced infrastructural upgrade of some federal tertiary hospitals. And these include our federal neuropsychiatric hospitals, our federal teaching hospitals, our specialty hospitals, and our federal medical centers to provide drug-related healthcare service delivery across the nation. Federal government subsidizes health. I'm sure we all know that, like they subsidize in education, they subsidize health. We have federal tertiary hospitals, teaching hospitals, medical centers, specialty hospitals, including the neuropsychiatric hospitals. And they are all mandated and designated to treat drug users, all federal tertiary hospitals.
The representative of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Odomelam Chile, attributed the high prevalence of drug abuse to factors such as poverty, unemployment, and porous borders, which contribute to the region's vulnerability to drug trafficking and abuse. He advocated for investments in education, job creation, and community development initiatives to empower individuals and communities against drug abuse.
The region's porous borders and proximity to major drug trafficking routes make it a vulnerable transit point for illicit substances. Recognizing the significance of prevention, the international community has designated June 26 as the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. Investing in education, job creation, and community development initiatives can empower individuals and communities to resist the horror of drugs. Investing in prevention is crucial to address the complex challenges of drug trafficking and abuse.
The World Health Organization representative to Nigeria, Walter Kazadi Mulombo, called on the Nigerian government to improve access to prevention, early detection, and treatment services for drug use disorders.
It could be associated with HIV, it could be associated with hepatitis B or C. There is also survey evidence come out the prevalence globally as well as in Nigeria. So that is the area also we should look at, but we also acknowledge the effort of the government, that prevention effort has been done. So there is also evidence come out that in Nigeria, the HIV situation in people using the drug also has been, the death has been declining, so their life expectancy has been longer. So that can also see that this is the product of the effort, collaborative effort to prevent and then minimize the harm. So then with this occasion, we would like to call on the government to strengthen and improve access to drug use prevention, early detection and treatment services for the drug use disorder.
The federal government of Nigeria says through collaborative efforts between the government, NGOs, healthcare professionals, and community groups, efforts will focus on increasing access to regulated substances for medical purposes while preventing diversions to illicit markets.
To further the fight against terrorism, the NCTC held a 2-day workshop on effective reporting towards alternatives to terrorist ideologies as part of implementing a national communication strategy. According to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the workshop aims to shape public perception and understanding of the complex issues surrounding terrorism.
The media holds an immense power to influence minds, shape narratives, and promote peace. Your reporting plays a pivotal role in this endeavor. To achieve this, the media should continue to project successful initiatives and programs of NCTC and ONSA that counter radicalization as well as the rehabilitation and reintegration of repentant terrorists into the community.
The National Coordinator, National Counterterrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, emphasized the importance of responsible media reporting in combating terrorism and violent extremism. He urged media practitioners to produce content that counters terrorist narratives.
This training is being conducted to build the capacity of journalists in the country in order to promote peace, education, patriotism, and encourage conflict-sensitive reporting towards attaining Mr. President's vision of guaranteeing a safer and peaceful Nigeria for all citizens. 30 journalists have been selected for the first phase of this training, and the second will be coming up before the end of the year.
Dr. Bosede Awodola in her remarks noted that media has a crucial role in shaping narratives. The goal, she said, is to develop effective strategies for reporting that enhance peace and security in Nigeria.
The workshop will allow for honest dialogue that will generate useful ideas to improved strategies of reporting to enhance peace and security in Nigeria. It is therefore essential for this workshop is conducted for media personnel working in relations with the National Counter-Terrorism Center to enable an improvement in the reportage of events, especially related to terrorism ideology and violent narratives from extremist groups.
The workshop aims to build the capacity of media practitioners to report effectively on security issues. Zainab Akogun, KAFTAN TV News.
Welcome back. This is still the Polity on KAFTAN Television. Richard Oriri joins us in the discussion. Richard Oriri is a public affairs analyst. You're highly welcome.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, let's quickly dive in, because we've already talked about some things, but let me get your reaction in the recent development of the Kaduna State former governor who has filed a case against the State House of Assembly for not giving him a fair hearing. What is your reaction to this recent development?
I think that is one of the major ingredients of democracy, and in democracy you have the right to question some excesses of government, and the led to have the right to question some reaction from actions from government as well. As a citizen today, now he's no longer governor. He's a free citizen of Kaduna State, and like every other citizen. And if he's right, if he feels that his right was trampled upon, I think he has every justification to question what has happened. And from what I heard his lawyer said yesterday on national television, he said the right to fair hearing, his right to fair hearing was trampled upon, that he was not given fair hearing. Okay. And there are two major principles of natural justice in law. And one says you cannot be judged in your case, and the other one says there's no how you will just hear from one side of any case and you give judgment. And in Latin words, they put it straight to say audi alteram pater, and numes judes et causesua. Okay, now he has come to ventilate his fundamental human right on the basis of one. Okay. Which was because which to him that he was not given fair hearing. Yes. They have heard from one side of the case. Without hearing from him, they have no right to give judgment. That was why he went to court. And if he exhausts all this and is on the point of law, he can be given that right, and everything they have done will be thrown away. And he can be invited officially, and he will go again for fair hearing. And if he goes for fair hearing and going there, if he says that the person adjudicating over this matter does not have that balancing in hearing in handling the matter, he can equally come from the other side of the law again which says you cannot be judged in your matter. Yes. If he feels that the person that is even handling the matter is not someone that can give in judgment, he can still question it. And until that person is removed and another person that is seems to be neutral in the matter comes to handle the matter. So it's all about that. Is why in some cases I don't take democracy to be the best to me. And in some of these issues of national matters, issues of state concern, issues of development, issues of nationalism, that the socialist states sometimes take decisive actions against citizens that have erred against the state, and they say they are autocratic. But in democracy, they would want to go by the proper principles of law, which sometimes which sometimes it brings about underdevelopment, which sometimes it brings about injustice at times again, even against the state. You get my point. So now we seems to be practicing a liberal democracy, and in liberal democracy where peace and harmony is the major focal point, there's no how you will not exhaust all these means in a democratic setting. So his basis and his mission, I think, on personal ground, he has every right to do what he has done.
All right, I've heard your thoughts, but let's say it is said that men lie, women lie, people lie, but figures don't lie. Now we are not just talking about this is not, the figures are clearly there.
But he has to be questioned.
Yes, it has to be. He has to be questioned.
To clear himself.
As of yesterday, even the residents who are protesting for his prosecution has go on to reveal that even 10.5 billion naira was mismanaged by him, by the former governor of Kaduna State.
Until he defended that allegation, it's still allegation.
Yeah, it is still allegation. But let me say this: the former governor. Media camp has described the probe as a politically motivated job, claiming that the ad hoc committee did not do a fair investigation as they already predetermined motive. Do you see this claim considerable?
Those were their ground for going to court now. Those were their grounds for going to court, because until El-Rufai is being questioned for now, me as a citizen, that even if the same thing happened to me, the same line is the line that I will do. Until you allow me, if you have alleged that yes, I commit this crime, allow me to defend myself. He was the immediate past governor of Kaduna State. And I think all that they have said that he has stolen or have taken as the allegation alleged, according to the allegation, even according to the investigation, he still have the right to say, this, you said this, you said this. This is how it was. He may, I don't think El-Rufai will be as foolish as that to that point that he doesn't have information concerning everything he has done in the government. Every intelligent person that serves in government, as you are living, as the file is moving, you have your own file as well. So they have digged out to bring him these informations out. Let them give him the opportunity to as well come from his own angle and defend all these allegations. That is just the whole thing, and that is democracy.
All right, let me get your. Do you think this?
My people said. My people. Sorry for cutting in again. My people said there's no how you can barb somebody in his absence. You can't barb somebody's hair in his or her absence.
Habib, Gajo, do you think this claim is worth considering?
Yeah, is more than worth considering, but I quite disagree with the position of Oriri. You see, in democracy, there is what we call constitutional democracy. In a constitutional democracy, you understand, those state assemblies, the local government councils, that's the councillors, is a legislative also. You understand? The National Assembly.
Before we go ahead. Good afternoon. Oh, we lost that caller. Please go ahead.
The National Assembly has the power to investigate.
Yes.
You understand?
Of course.
And their investigation is always binding by the law or for the law. You understand?
Yes.
That is why we have a rule of law, not rule by law. You get it? So for somebody who is indicted said he was not given fair hearing, why will he even wait till after the investigation has been concluded and indictment has been done, and you now said you are not given fair hearing, while your commissioners who serve under you appeared in that public hearing? You understand?
Yes.
In that ad hoc investigating committee of the State Assembly. You understand? It's not an open court, or it's not a court that you will raise all sort of allegations of saying that you will not be given fair hearing, or you are, the person that is investigating cannot investigate because he is so and so. You understand?
Yes.
Or you didn't trust him, or he didn't like you, or he is your opponent. You understand?
Yes.
It's a committee. You have an opportunity, you understand, to go to that committee. It's not a one-member committee. You understand?
Yeah.
The chairman is being elected to head that committee. You understand? There is a speaker, there is a deputy speaker, there is a majority, there is a minority leader, there is a majority leader. You understand? All these things are there. The clerk is there. You understand? All what you need is to go and defend yourself if you think you are right. You understand? When you have done that, you understand, and you have been indicted, and you say, no, I defended myself. I proved to the whole world that this is what happened during my tenure. And despite that, this committee indicted me, I did not agree. But you refuse to go. You refuse to answer. You refuse to appear. The way El-Rufai was so vocal in any issue in Nigeria, he cannot be vocal. His voice was silent on his own indictment. And the nitty-gritty of the indictment was not part of what he went to court on. You understand?
Yes.
Fundamental human right, not given fair hearing. So you went to the Federal High Court to quash the Federal High Court. No court of law has a power to quash the investigative committee of any legislature. You understand? Because the legislature are lawmakers. You understand? Now, going forward, like the way Oriri is saying, nobody will bab somebody in his absence.
Yes.
That is why they call it public hearing. You understand? And if you did not appear, even to refuse to appear is another crime. In the other side of it was those monies that were appropriated. Do you know, already I think you are aware that any money that is being appropriated is law. It's been guided by law. You understand?
Very well.
Very good. And anything that is being guided by law, appropriated, must be investigated at the end of it.
Yes.
Whether the contract has been done successfully and so on. If there is allegation of corruption or mismanagement, investigation must be carried out. You understand?
Yes.
So these are the things. But for somebody to refuse to go and say this fundamental human right, and what of the right of the citizens of the Kaduna State?
The issue there is that El-Rufai allow them to exhaust all their mistakes. You understand? Because I can call it mistake. I can call it mistake because
the investigation is a mistake.
I can call it mistake because all of them in the state assembly, both the speaker and all the House of Assembly members in Kaduna State, they were elected for 4 years.
Okay.
They have just spent 1 year. They have 3 years ahead. Why they rush? Why they rush in this investigation panel? The question is why they rush. That investigative panel.
I will tell you the rush.
That investigative panel. I'm still talking. That investigative panel.
All right.
That investigative panel is not above the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There's no law anywhere in this country that is above.
But it was enacted from the Constitution of the Federal Republic.
There's no law in Nigeria that is above the Federal Constitution.
Okay.
And El-Rufai is coming now from the angle of Federal Constitution of this country, which talks about fair hearing.
Do we have state constitution?
In any
do
trial,
we have state constitution?
In any trial, even in a local trial, in a traditional matter setting, before district health, you must give fair hearing. And you must ensure that you exhaust all the means to see how you get the two parties to stand before you and explain themselves. And you cannot just because what do they do to see that El-Rufai appear before them? Now he has come to say, you did not let me defend myself before you. The best thing to do, he has made himself, if you say he has not made himself available, they still have 3 years. El-Rufai has presented himself for defense. The best thing to do is to allow him defend himself.
Let him
as we are discussing it here, under normal circumstances, we are not supposed to even say anything concerning what is going on again. Because it's before
we will discuss because
it's before the court.
It's fundamental human rights.
Before the court.
It's fundamental human rights.
Any issue
we also have a right.
You cannot preempt the court. You can't preempt. Now we are giving judgment.
We are not giving
judgment based on what I know. Giving judgment based on what you know. The best thing for us is to allow. The best thing for us to do is to allow the court. The best thing we are supposed to do now is to allow the court to give his judgment on the basis in which El-Rufai went to court for. He went to court to challenge his right, that they trampled on his right. And too many Nigerians, not just El-Rufai,
but he did not.
Over how many million Nigerians?
He has not
every day on daily basis. People trample on their right. People trample on people's right. But the ability, the capacity to ventilate your grievances that you cannot trample on my right, questioning the person trampling on your right. Too many Nigerians don't do it. If El-Rufai have come boldly to question that the state government, Kaduna state government, have trampled on his right. He has right.
No,
he has come before the law.
Kaduna state government. Say it clearly. The state
assembly.
State
assembly. They trampled on his right. That is the question. That is what he has questioned.
Executive.
That is what he has questioned. The state assembly, they have trampled on his right.
Who stopped him from appearing?
The state assembly, they cannot.
Who stopped him from
no state assembly in Nigeria. No state assembly in Nigeria operate outside the federal constitution. No matter the law of the state, the law of every state is subject to the federal constitution.
We don't have two constitutions. We have one federal republic constitution.
One federal republic constitution. And any law, no, every state have their law, by law. Even local government have their law. You understand? But you cannot do anything outside the general law, which is the federation law. And now El-Rufai has gone to court from the federation law.
What you are trying to say,
of Nigerian law, that is above even the state high court. You get my point? That is above even the state law.
So what you are trying to say, he went to federal high court to get immunity. Not
immunity. He just questioned that you do not allow him to defend myself. It's a simple matter. And it's in the constitution. Yes, that you just do not allow me to defend myself.
But go and defend yourself. The constitution provided that.
Yes, that is what he has presented himself.
The assembly also have the right to investigate what they are investigating.
It is their right to investigate him because they are representing the people. The members of State Assembly, they are the true representative of the people from the local level.
Let me help you.
You get my point? And that is why no governor in this country, no governor have the right to spend a penny of the state funds without the approval of the State Assembly. Because the State Assembly, they are the one watching over the resources of the state on behalf of the masses. And that is why the governor can't spend 1 naira of a state fund without the State Assembly giving approval. And these State Assembly members, they have the right to question even the excesses of the governor.
Let
El-Rufai said they did not allow him to defend himself before them.
Can you prove that? Now I'm coming.
He's in court already. If you say you cannot prove that, then meet him in court. El-Rufai is in court already challenging that.
I will not meet him in court because I don't join.
He is already in court. So we should allow the court to give that judgment.
Court will give a restraining order. That's what you want now, and it will not happen. Secondly, let me tell you.
You can't preempt the court.
You said the State Assembly has made mistakes for investigating El-Rufai.
No. Not allowing him to present himself. Not for investigation. Why would they make mistake for investigating El-Rufai? They did not make any mistake at all. But the mistake they made is that they rushed over the investigation. They should have allowed him to present himself.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
They should have allowed him.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Please, your name and where you're calling us from.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Can you please turn down the volume of your device? Oh, we lost that caller.
You see, what I'm saying, Oriri has misunderstood.
Not at all.
The whole
not
the
at
whole
all.
issue.
Not at all.
Allow me.
Not me at all. Misunderstanding.
Allow me to talk. You understand? 1 year is more than enough. You understand?
How many months?
Question.
How many months did the panel start?
Gentlemen, please, we have another caller. Let's quickly hear from this caller. Good afternoon, and where are you calling us from? We lost that caller. That has to be.
You understand? That in 1 year they have 4 years term, but in 1 year they have made mistake by investigating El-Rufai.
No.
Let me tell you. And you
I said they have 4 years to even carry out this investigation. Why they rush within this how many months?
Well, I think the reason for the rush was because the current governor is unable to pay salaries because of the because of the misappropriation of funds.
Yes, even the revenue generators has been looted.
It's still not enough. They have to follow the process of law. They should have allowed El-Rufai to present himself and defend himself.
Gentlemen,
they cannot rush to make mistake, and they have rushed to make the mistake, and that is why El-Rufai have gone to court now to challenge them.
Good afternoon, where are you calling us from?
Does he have a commissioner of finance?
Commissioner of Finance went there to defend himself, and El-Rufai is going there to defend himself.
Let me ask.
This is.
Wait, let me tell you. A commissioner of finance will go and defend
himself.
No, his government.
Not
the government he served.
Are they challenging government? Are they challenging government or individual? This is about individual responsibility. It's not about collective responsibility anymore. It's not collective responsibility. It's individual responsibility.
Let me say.
No.
So what I want to understand from you. You understand?
If it's about collective,
any allegation or indictment,
on government,
on any
government or individual
or government official, because there is nothing in person of El-Rufai.
I think
you understand?
We
if it is person of El-Rufai,
finance commissioner went to the panel because he was the one he was approving funds, and he has to go and defend himself on individual basis. So that is why
there is discrepancies. There is discrepancies that.
We are running out of time. Let me quickly add.
Will not go and defend himself.
Habib, let me ask you this.
If there is an indictment, what you need to do, you understand? You now go there and allow and seek for second opportunity.
Let's hear from
you understand? To defend yourself.
Good afternoon. Where are you calling us from? Gentlemen, we have
for that second opportunity.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Your name and location, please.
I'm Moses Agbe from Benue State.
Moses, you're welcome to the Polity.
Thank you, ma'am. I actually want to contribute to what you people are discussing in the stadium. It's a welcome development.
Right.
But I want to tell the man that we are quite, I can't call his name, but please he should allow the other gentleman also to talk his point. Actually, the State House Assembly, to my own view, what they did is right. Because the civil servants are suffering, the salary is not being paid. Government, to run government, that is very difficult. So the governor then asked the State House Assembly, which they have the power to investigate. So to him saying 1 year they are rushing, I think people, the citizens of Kaduna, they are suffering. The suffering is too much, and the governor is not able to do what the people elected him to do. So I think, to my own view, what they did is true. And another thing, the State House Assembly, they invite the ex-governor. He refused to appear to them. So he said they didn't give him fair hearing. To my own, they invited him, I think, almost 2 times. He has failed to attend. So for me, for them to publicizing what he embezzled, I think is right.
All right.
All right. That is my suggestion.
Thank you for your contribution.
You spoke very well. And the same governor went on air to tell the whole world
that
he has enough funds now. The same governor who is
Oriri is just like a case of Kogi State. This one went to Federal High Court. This one went to State High Court. And this one went to Federal High Court. You understand? But the state government has not investigated the former governor. But the EFCC, the anti-graft agencies who were saddled to also have a power to investigate, has investigated and says he must answer these questions. You understand? To take him to court, the High Court gave a restraining order while the other court said go and appear. And up till today, he has not appeared. The people of Kogi State feeling injustice as we speak today.
The issue.
So
let me add something to this. Habib Gajo. Now, how far do you think this
EFCC is a federal institution of state?
How far do you think this probe would go? As we all know how Nigeria go, sometimes cases like this just disappear in the air and distractions are thrown, and sometimes something else happens. Do you think that the former governor of Kaduna State will be prosecuted fully, especially knowing the fact that he's a member of the ruling party?
You see, what matters is let him provide all the evidences he has. So one.
Okay.
All the indictment, let him answer them one by one. Thirdly, let him submit himself to the law. You understand? For any corruption charges or allegation or indictment, I don't see a politician who is smart will now go and look for a restraining order in Federal High Court or seek for redress in Federal High Court. All what you need is to go and answer your the questions against you, provide the necessary information. So contract we awarded to so company in so date and so time. You understand?
Yes.
With the appropriation of so money by the State Assembly and the Committee on Road Infrastructure. You understand? And so on. And this is the level of the contract. Before my government end, it has reached 70%, 80%, 20%, but we have paid or we have gave mobilization, and the money is still there in government coffers or in government account. When he finish, he will be paid or he will be mobilized based on the agreement of the percentage of the completion of the contract. You understand?
Yes.
Now, the allegation of also a misappropriation or disappearance of internally generated revenue, which is more disturbing, which is more disheartening, which is more critical, that a poor man, an ordinary laborer, pays tax. In Nigeria, we are being taxed for everything. In everything you are buying, in everything in your life, you are being taxed, and somebody the money will just disappear like that. You understand? That also need to be addressed. Let him come out. Let him have a press conference. Even if he cannot go to the state assembly, let him go to the. Let him have a press conference. This is what we generated from so year to so year to so year to so year. You understand? Yes. This is what we have used the money we generated.
If you
but
understand
the money untraced. You understand?
If you understand the Rufai,
you understand?
I think let me get your reaction. Do you think the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, would be properly prosecuted, knowing the fact that he's a member of the ruling party? Do you see this happening?
If the true process of law is being followed, the normal process of law is being followed, and he's indicted truly, the state government can prosecute him. But in this process now,
thank you for saying that.
Yes, now
thank you for admitting the truth.
They are talking. He's talking from the point of sentiment, and in law, you don't bring sentiment before the law. You come with facts before the law. And El-Rufai has gone to before the law on fact basis, on issue of fundamental human right, that he will not answer on the basis of where is the revenue generated, where is this money, where is this one. He's not going. He's not saying that yet. He will answer all of that question. He will answer all of that question. But before he answer all of that question, this so-called indictment that they have done, when he was not given the right to defend himself before they gave the indictment, is what he went to quash. And once that is quashed, he can present himself before any panel.
Okay,
he has presented himself. Now, if he will not present himself, he will not come before the law. He did not do before here.
Mercy, he is going to.
Even you as a person.
If the indictment, you understand, were investigated by the security agencies, you know, there is a step by step. You understand? First, there will be an allegation.
Yes.
Secondly, there will be investigation and indictment. You understand?
Whom are you indicting? The person you are indicting have not been given the privilege to defend himself.
About the position of the law.
The person you are indicting, can you indict somebody when the person have not answered any question?
Thank you so much. We'll spend more than required time. But let me ask this before.
It's when
if you have every president go and resolve it.
Then they will charge the matter.
I am talking as a Nigerian, and even if I am in the same position.
The position of political party. It has no coloration of political mindset. You understand? Let him be aware that any corruption allegation must be charged to court.
Exactly.
You understand? So you can run before the investigation and said you want them to stop.
As a citizen,
why the case is still in court? I say we are doing a follow-up. We'll definitely get to
in democracy the basic principles of natural justice.
Before we go,
natural justice, just two basic principles of natural justice. You can't be judging your case, and you must hear from both sides of the case before you judge.
United States of America.
Before we go, please. Over time, we have heard and seen looting of public funds, not just this of El-Rufai. The past governors, after their administration, they come out with a lot of, after investigation, you hear that a certain huge amount of money was being misappropriated. It's not just about him. How do you think we can tackle this problem and this problem of looting public fund?
It's about,
please, in 2 seconds, because we are out of time.
Until our institutions are strong, we don't have strong institutions. Once we have strong institutions that will serve the interests of the masses, there will be nothing like corruption. And if you go to China today, corruption, if you are caught in corruption allegation, if you are caught red-handed corruption, the sentence is death sentence. And such penalty is not here. So anyone can steal anything.
Thank you so much for your... Please, let me get your reaction before we go. We are out of time.
Yes, it's until we strengthen our democracies. You understand?
Exactly.
Our laws, our constitution. You understand? If we follow the constitution of that's guiding us or governing us, you understand? Then strengthen the institution he is saying. Those institutions are being strengthened before, but from the look of things, they are so weak by the politicians have weakened those institutions, more especially the former governors. You understand? They will always use fundamental human right, right of this, right of that, to stop and collect and take injunction and restraining order, not to investigate them. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the weakness we are having.
Right.
But when we strengthen our democracy, our law, definitely our institution will work effectively.
All right. Thank you both.
And we hope,
thank you, gentlemen, for
in our lifetime this thing will happen.
Definitely. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. I really do appreciate your audience. All right, viewers, this is where we draw the curtain for today's episode on the polity. And before I go, let me remind you to follow all our social media handles on Instagram, Twitter, and of course on Facebook at KAFTAN Television. Keep watching KAFTAN Television, and until I come your way next time, I am Messi Emelite. Bye for now. Bye for now.